So I'm walking down 95th or whatever, finna catch the bus. It's cold as hell, and out the corner of my eye, I see a group of niggas coming. One of them, bout yay high, fresh ass kicks on,
and a voice as loud as thunder say,
"Hey yo ma, let me holla at you."
And of course, almost as if his voice was made of glue,
I stop dead in my tracks, turn around, and finally take a good look at him. I mean, he alright, I guess, but it's still cold.
And it's getting late.
And I ain't even really trying to talk to nobody for real.
But he say he ain't trying to hear all that. He's trying to talk to me, see what's up with me.
If I got a man,
if I got a Facebook,
do I stay around here?
Can he take me shopping?
And I'm like,
damn nigga, I'm just trying to get home.
One and all, welcome. I am Nick Muniz. This is Nick's Nonfiction. Today on the show, we have got Mojica Rodríguez's For Brown Girls. Open up your books. It's time for knowledge. Yeah. I'm at your baby mama's crib, throwing M&Ms at your kid's head full speed. For generations, brown girls have had to push against the forces of sexism, racism, intersectionality, often feeling alone in the struggle. This episode about that struggle, baby. I got my dashiki on, brother Niche, about to spread the law. Self-law and master. Boys, this one's for all the Labubu's. The LA Times says, Mojica Rodríguez's electrifying debut channels mesmeric prose to heal the wounds of white supremacy. Required reading, a celebration of brown at a vital moment, and a manual tapping into brown girls' power. You don't need to tell me about tapping the brown girls, huh? How does a black woman tell if she's pregnant? When she takes the tampon out, the cotton is already picked. About the author, Mojica Rodríguez. Yeah. This is an interesting one. You might have already guessed it, Mojica Rodríguez. She's not black. She's Hispanic. Miss Rodríguez was born in Managua, Nicaragua, but calls Nashville, Tennessee home. She got a master's from Vanderbilt University in spring of 2015. Okay, so she lives in Kentucky, Tennessee, and she went to the Vanderbilt school. This is the whitest person I've ever read. Literally. She paid tens of thousands of dollars to learn about Vanderbilt's dynasty. They're talking about white colonization. Who the hell started the school, right? This chick, she's never been on food stamps. She's never been to jail. How black is she really? All right, let's do this, boys. For Brown Girls. Chapter 1. Dear Brown Girl. So I'm standing at the bus stop on the corner of 54th, and this loud-ass hitter come by and says, "Hey, yo, ma." You guys like this? This, out of nowhere, perfect timing, my pa sent me this. We've got Richard Pryor. This, crazy. I'm not allowed to say this word, but it's a word that exists. Crazy timing. All right, my dashiki's feeling good. This one's for brown girls. Yeah. Dear brown girl, you are eternal. You have a fire burning deep inside of you, and it comes from your mama's side. False. The feminine is the aquatic. The male represents the fire. Okay, we're 2 sentences in, and she's already misleading black women. Yeah, she is the most racist person ever. She's hyper-fixated on race to the point where she didn't even put accurate information in her book. This entire book exists for her to LARP as a black person. Looks like I'm going to have to carry the weight. You are neither here nor there, but everywhere. You carry out our culture in your veins, and the academia in your heart. The culture, baby. Culture is our friend. Music that tells us to be depressed and commit crimes. This book is my way of democratizing knowledge. That knowledge, baby. I'm getting high off them ideas. We democratizing the knowledge, the power maintained in the status of gatekeeping. Right. Gatekeeping. And white people aren't allowed to say magic words. Okay? It's the white people doing the gatekeeping. This book will utilize the word Latinx. Instead of Hispanic or gendered male Latino, I talk about communities which Hispanics will include people of Spanish ancestry and does not include non-Spanish speakers. Okay, don't use exclusionary language, but she's not talking about non-Spanish speakers today. Latinx, exclusionary language. I mean, she already failed the whole masculine feminine thing within the first sentence. Thought someone was taking a look at my album. This chick doesn't even know what the masculine and the feminine is. Yeah, she can't even use the word Latinx.
Another one.
Bro, I stayed at the gayest hostel of my life in Buenos Aires. There were trans people giving each other handies on the balcony. All right, this was in the shadiest situation in Buenos Aires. I had to switch after 2 days. I lasted 48 hours in this smut hole. These guys, they plastic exclusionary. I just had a stroke. Okay. It's like let's just all call each other Latinx from now on, and then it won't be gay if we like suck each other off, man.
Another one.
I do not write for white people, and I'm also not exclusionary. There are endless numbers of books written for whites. I write for BIWOC. I write for immigrants. I write for those of us who have been harmed by the white theologies. Goddamn white theologies. Because the black Israelites, they don't have any dangerous ideologies. This book is not for white people. It's for BIWOCs. Is that a fucking Star Wars character? When I was at that hostel in Buenos Aires, it felt like the cantina in Star Wars. There's a trans dude getting head. Chapter 2. Nicaragua. Monica, her implicit biases start showing. Back in Managua, I called short-term white helpers volunteerists because that is what they are doing, touring our country. Voluntourists. Now the people sending this very important stuff decided that they needed to see the faces of the people whose lives they were changing. After hearing about a series of devastating natural disasters, a massively traumatic civil war, and a white church began to send missionaries to Nicaragua. They offered aid along with their agenda to save us. So according to Mojica, any aid that you receive should be faceless and nameless. If you're doing something good for somebody, you should hide. You should hide your face. You go to these countries, you go to South America, and you can't win. A natural disaster happens, they go, get out of our country! What are you doing, voluntourism? Bigger natural disaster happens, why aren't you helping us? You can't win. They might as well just put up a sign in these countries that say no whites. Okay? You ever feel racism for real? But I knew they were trying to get something out of me, an experience. So I decided to get out of them what I wanted. I remember complimenting a white woman's volunteerist water jug, and she immediately gave it to me. In her guilt, I saw opportunity. Way to be bigger than it all, Mojica. Every week of my life, I give people an experience for free. Right? I guess I'm a fucking white capitalist, bro. The only capitalism I care about are gains. These are my capitalist gains, Mojica. This bitch. You know you're crazy if you're the one complaining about getting free shit from Christians. She can't just accept the gift. She is a self-hating Mexican. Nicaraguan. Bro. She's like grouping together the militaristic arm of the Vatican as all white people. Okay? These modern Christians aren't trying to topple the Incan Empire. They want to give you a loaf of bread. All white people are colonizers. All right, she's starting to get a better grip on the problem here. It's not the tourists, it's not the Christians. After the United States put the first Somoza in place to rule over our country, Nicaraguans lived through more than 2 Somoza men as dictators. Sorry. These men from their family were corrupt and able to amass many resources. The Somoza sold rights to cattle outside of our country. So she never makes it to MLK 2.0. When MLK rounds the corner, he stops talking about racism and starts talking about classism. Yeah, let's shoot this guy in the fucking head. This chick, she stays in racism land for 300 pages. Never makes the second move. You keep it racist and you don't get your head blown off, all right? You start going classist, Yikes. Me papi's older brother, my uncle, served in the National Guard under one of these Tyrannosaurus presidents. Tyrannus. My Tio served under a dictator. How come every Spanish person's got an uncle named Tio? Tachito was promised a scholarship in college, so he joined the army. Like we totally hate the dictator. He's ruining our country. But I could get some free stuff? That Tio died a few years ago. The story goes that he got so drunk he passed out and a car ran over his body and kept driving. Thanks a lot, white people! Chapter 3. Colorism. This book was written in Spanglish. I'm not doing this for effect. Me mommy tells me not to go in the sun. Me mommy tells me to put on sunblock. Me mommy tells me not to go to the beach so much. She's not protecting me from skin cancer. Me mommy does not want me to be too brown. Somehow this is white people's fault. Listen, bitch. Guy Mojica, nobody cares about your skin color. I don't care about it, and I'm white. I don't even know what I am. I'm a mutt. And you saying having heritage is a disadvantage? I don't know where I come from. This is my only inheritance. My heritage is racism. Cap.
Holy crap.
For real. This is something I take personally. Okay, she's talking about colorism this chapter. You see, as a black person, we always have this in our mind. You know what's always in my fucking mind? That I can't go outside, or the sun will burn my skin. I don't have melanin. Is that how somehow white advantage? We're always like conscious of our color, man. I get burned if I go outside. It's my privilege. I'm supposed to give you money because you're neurotic about how tan you are. Bitch, I can't go outside. The sun will burn me. But like avoiding the sun feels unnatural and distasteful. You're telling this to a white person. My skin, I had sun poisoning in Brazil. My skin was bubbling up and it was sloughing off my entire arm. I didn't see the black people dealing with their racism, getting skin poisoning. Lefties, they try to say that white people, we don't have the colorism in our mind. Right. Because it's buried deep, burning my dermis. In Nicaragua, I was brought up to believe I was mestiza. I remembered when my babysitter was getting her first bath at home. I saw her Mongolian spot and asked her about it. She told me it was a spot that all mestizos have, and it fades as they get older. The Mongolian spot signified our indigenous ancestors. You know what kind of spots white people get on their skin? It's called fucking melanoma. How many black people you see in the hospital for skin cancer? It's your white privilege, right? We don't have melanin. We just don't have it. Ow! Ow, my hand! Colored people, they claim, mestizo, bro, I'm not dark. I'm not dark enough. The only people who are judging you are colored people. I don't care. I don't know any white people who are grading Mexicans on their skin color. Bruh, these people, they're making up this imaginary... There's racism in the sky, and it's gonna strike you. There's actually an orbiting ball of death in the sky that burns white people. Ow! This is racism. This is real. An example in Nicaragua is that we have a history of multiple race categories dating back to the 1800s. The racial categories that existed were Casta, Ladu, Zambo, Mulatto, Mestizo, Blanco, and Negro. These racial categories include the mixing of indigenous and black, which is Zambo. These guys found up a way to create all of these labels rather than just inventing sunblock. That's what you spent your time doing? Making everybody a different skin color? For me to identify as mestiza is to perpetuate the same colonial structure and eugenic thinking, bruh. This chick has a lot of reading to do, all right? This is the age of Aquarius. We're all going to be fucking brown. It's not a bad thing. This is how the human family works, all right? An African-American named Bethany goes to the butcher. She asks for a bit of bacon. No, Black Betty, ham and lamb. Chapter 4. Politics. Mojita, she lists some common white people phrases that piss her off. Number 1, you're taking this too seriously. Why, how can you not be in arms? Like, the BIPOC movement is dampened by the white man. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Number 2, it's not always about race. You sit there at your cash register, man, you tell me it's not all about race? Like if it's not about race, then why am I ordering spicy honey barbecue? It's all about race all the time forever. Ma'am, this is a Taco Bell. Number 3, not all white people. That was the phrase. She doesn't like it when white people qualify that not all white people are the same. No, like you gotta stand at your cash register and let me take out my anger for slavery, even though I'm Mexican. Ma'am, did you know that every race did slavery? Let's check. Number 4, I have a Latina friend. No, like he's not multiracial enough. Like all white people are evil. Number 5, not in my experience. No, like listen, in my racially fixated reality, like your experience doesn't matter, mate. Not all white people. Deeper into this political nightmare. For example, professional spaces which are created with white cis hetero men in mind have only really been infiltrated by women openly LGBTQ folks. BIPOCs in recent history are outside these normal parameters. They must learn code switching as to affirm a sense of belonging. Mojita, code switching. I mean, she's good at it. She's not even Mexican, but she's black the whole book. This is basically the future of politics, all right? It doesn't matter if you're a fucking Cantonese wigger. You'll probably do even better. Example, Kamala Harris. This goddamn book. This book will give you multiple personality disorder. Well, I identify as this now. This is the era of hoe politics. Kamala Harris, she's got half black chicks dancing in miniskirts on stage. Hey, yo, what's cracking, y'all? I'm black. I'm Kamala. You don't have to be philosophically consistent as a politician. You don't even have to be racially consistent. In fact, it'll help you to be transracial. I use my white voice because I have to adapt in order to exist and thrive in white capitalist society. All of these labels, white voice, LGBTQ, you're giving yourself MPD. Chapter 5. Chongas. Mojita. She's pulling up this chapter to represent her bitches in Miami. The mojitas. The chongas. Her name sounds like a mojito. It's been messing me up. What does a chonga look like? A chonga is a Latina, usually an immigrant herself, from working class or working poor context. Chongas have sharp tongues. When the Teach for America teachers and the counselors tell them to stop dreaming, they have to stick up for themselves because, like chongas, we face ridicule. You know, like, I identify as a chonga. That's what she kept saying. And this is another powerful phrase. I identify. This is a trance phase in business. It's just NLP, all right? I identify, it automatically puts your ego into a box that needs to define more unreal parameters. Bro, this is deep. She didn't go this deep. I identify as black, so I'll vote for this. I identify as a white cleaning person, so I'll buy this product. The identity. This is one of the most sinister spells ever cast. Identity. Ego, superego, id. You could feel feminine as a boy or masculine as a girl, but once you tell this child he needs to identify as the opposite sex, snip, snip. That's when some shit, ego, identity, some next level shit, all right? As a chonga, I realized quickly that I was seen as deviant and dangerous. This is because you identified with a systematic archetype, and they started attributing you characteristics. Okay, back to the beginning. This music, these like crime rhymes, man, they were totally made for our identity. Chongas adorn themselves in their chosen armor. We dress like goddesses. When I wing my eyeliner, outline my lips, put on my miniskirt, and crept up, I'm adorning myself with war paint and armor. Because to you, I'm not human. Because it's okay. Because to be me, and those who understand me, I am a goddess. Who is she talking to? Because you don't think I'm a human. Who is this for? Maybe it's because you put your ego in an imaginary chonga box. Psychotic. I do not try to make friends with white people. I have all the white people I need. Instead, I am constantly on the lookout for people who are like me. Right, but not if they're white.
My name is Walter Hartwell White.
Walter White! Like, I don't even try to make friends with black people, and you're racist.
Call me asparagus.
She had a whole chapter on toxic masculinity here. All right, if we're making up words, here's one for you. Toxic femininity. Both sexes could be toxic. What are you being unexclusive? Bro, this is a dangerous book. Like, if some brown girl who's coming into her identity reads this, it would be very damaging. You think I'm being hypocritical? This is a dangerous book. She is racist. We just read a book about Nazis, and this book is more racially charged. I don't know how she did it. Bro, we read a book called N-Word on the Patreon. And this is slop, all right? Like only masculino can be toxico. You fucking chimichanga. You're ruining young girls' minds. Chapter 6, Decoloniality. Making up some more words. Usually this would mean independence. And she did her best with this book. So I'm trying to, it can be used for good. If you put on your academic hat and read this, you go, Yes, decolonization leads to increased blackness. When the English decolonize, they become pirates. And why do pirates love black girl? Because black girl got that booty. Yeah, see how academic does never lead you into a loop of logical circulation? Circular logic. Here's one of the scientific achievements made by women she mentioned in this book. When me papi suspected that he was like diabetic, it was me mommy who suggested first that he put his urine into a bowl. She said that if you put a bowl outside in the morning, then the ants would eat the pee if he was diabetic. This is actual decolonization. Okay? Before you get on dialysis for $10,000 a month, piss in a bucket and eat some vegetables. I have a vivid memory of our car almost floating because we were like driving through a flooded area. Everything had just been ravaged by rain a few hours before. My mommy wanted to see the damage up close. Growing up, I would groan and complain about her escapades, but like, this got us to feel a part of ourselves. See? This is another lesson in decolonization. You don't let the IMF build your roads. Mojita, she's getting honest towards the end here. What I had done was replace my colonial institution with a very conservative fundamentalist church. So she traded in her religion for academia. This is like, you know how they say thoughts and prayers, these Christians? She traded that in for colorism and intersectionality.
Sticking at your gap where there is no.
Brown girls. I made the mistake of thinking that I was better than the other, when in fact they both function the same way. If only she could use that logic towards people's skin color. Brown girl, this world does not want to see you survive in it, so defy it and dare to thrive. Learning to step back and actively take care of yourself in a society that does not value your life, this is the decolonial practice. 3 black women are in an airport. First black woman says, if we go down, I'm going to make sure I'm wearing my hot pink panties. Other 2 girls look at each other. Girl, what the hell you talking about wearing panties in the ocean? Because if the plane crashes and I'm floating butt up in the ocean, they going to find me first. Second lady says, plane go down, I'm going to be wearing my green panties. Third lady says, no. If we go down, I'm not wearing no panties at all. Other girls say, what? What are you, crazy? You're going to be naked. She says, because if we crash and I'm floating butt up in the ocean, you know they looking for that black box first.
Can we get much higher? So high.
Brother Nick, signing off. Don your dashikis, because we taking on the white man.